Hi everybody, welcome behind the scenes here at Jamie Riddler Studios. I'm Jamie and I'm so glad to be here with you today. In fact, as I was getting ready this morning, I felt like just exactly the same way I feel like when I'm getting ready for a coffee date with a friend. Just so excited and having this sense of anticipation of spending this time with you this morning. And that's in large part to how much love you have all been sending back to me, how many beautiful comments, how many beautiful notes, how many beautiful responses in the newsletter, and also how many of you have been sharing the BTS with people. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You made me wake up with joy today and look forward to coming and recording for you. And what I was thinking about today was something that is an incredibly useful strategy tool that actors and directors use when approaching a script. And it's something I think we can use in our lives to great effect. And that is identifying what's called the given circumstances. So as an actor, if I read a play, I go, okay, what are the given circumstances for my character? Okay, I see that this takes place in the 1920s. That's a given. I see that I'm a mom. That's a given. I see that I live in Tennessee, given whatever it is, I look for the facts, the immutable facts of the script. And then once I know those things, from there I can start to build and grow and shape and imagine into my particular performance. Something that is unique to me. And that's why you can see someone play Ophelia again and again and again. You can see someone play King Lear again and again and again. And the different people who embody that role bring something extraordinary to it. I recently saw a production of Macbeth up at the Stratford Festival. And I saw a Lady Macbeth that I had never seen before. She was sweet and very pleasant and lovely, sort of like you imagine she was a nice girl growing up. And I know that she took inspiration from that line, look like the innocent flower, but be like the serpent underneath it. And I knew immediately that's what she was doing. It was very exciting to see her unique interpretation. So how do we do that? How do we creative people use this approach in our regular lives? Well, when we are imagining, when we are visioning, we can start with our given circumstances. Each of us has them, some that we love and treasure and cherish and want forever, and some that really make us angry, frustrated, sad. We can also get resentful or comparative with others, right? Like, I have this, not that. If only I had this then. If I had this, then I would be able to write a book. If I had this, then I would be able to be published. If I had this, then I could start my own business. If I had this, then, if I had this, then, if I had this, then. I'll tell you something. That is a road to frustration. It's a familiar road to me. I know that road. I think we all do. But it's a road that is a dead end. It's a road that doesn't get us anywhere because it's a road that argues with our given circumstances. So if the truth is that we don't have that thing, we can either try to shift our given circumstances and get it, have it, be it, shift it, or we can accept that as a part of the current script. It's the part of the structure. It's the way it is right now. And so what do we do with it? How do we make the most of it? How do we move in and under and around it? How do we let it reveal to us some kind of interesting approach we could take, some kind of starting point? Because we're also afraid of the blank page. Given circumstances give us a bit of a roadmap. We still have lots of open space we can navigate, and that's the important part to remember. But we do have some things like, okay, the mountain is here, the house is here, and the river runs over here. Okay, so now I have a lay of the land. I can get started. I can go over the mountain. I can go around it. I could drill through it. I could go underneath it. Okay, there's a river. What does that mean I have to think about? It means maybe I have to think about a boat. Maybe I have to think, is it small enough that I could wade through it? It gives us something tangible and real to work with if we choose to work with it. And working with it can include trying to change it. So there are some things we can look at. When we look at our given circumstances, we can think, how mutable is this? Like, I might be able to change where I live. For example, I'm not saying it's an easy change. That might be a big change. It might take a lot of energy. And then you'll have to determine, is changing that circumstance worth the effort that it goes in? Or is working with that circumstance going to give me better results? But then there's other things I can't change. I'm the age I am. It's what I got, baby. It's who I am. And I can fight against it all I want. I have. I know that I've wasted a lot of time, tons of time, trying to fight with an immutable circumstance. It takes a lot of energy, and it usually means I'm trying not to feel my feelings. So I don't want to mourn it. I don't want to grieve it. I just want it. I just want it still. And while we're fighting with reality, we are stuck. We are in this incredibly balanced fight where we are just struggling and moving around, but we're staying in the same place. But if we could stop that fight, feel our feelings, grieve, mourn, be angry, and recognize that this particular thing, this is an immutable circumstance in this moment. This is an immutable circumstance. So this is one I have to work with. So how am I going to work with it? What's the opportunity here? What is it telling me? What do I have to make peace with? What do I have to find interesting here? What can I get curious about? How can I build on this? How does the fact that this is an immutable fact in my life make this an interesting and intriguing journey that's different from somebody else's, right? Because it's mine and it's my truth. It's my given circumstance. And that is a part of what makes my life unique and compelling, and the place from which I can draw my creative and artistic inspiration. So there's a lot to be said about given circumstances, as you can see, and I hope that this is just a bit of an introduction to the concept, to the idea of look for the given circumstances of your life. See how you can work with them instead of against them, to create exactly what your heart is yearning for, to create that opportunity for you to expand into the artist you truly are, to create the unique work that's born of yourself in your life. And remember to pay attention to those details and ask yourself, is this an immutable circumstances, or is this something I can change? If it's immutable, how do I work with it? If it's something I can change, do I want to? Is it worth the energy to change this thing? Or is it more valuable to me? Is it going to yield me more results, get me closer to what I want, to work with it? And these are really powerful questions. And they take into account, they give us each a very unique lay of our artistic landscape, because each of us has different given circumstances. And it's not up to me to determine what yours are, or yours are, or yours are, or yours are. That's up to you. You've got to look and say, what here is my life? What here are the circumstances I'm working with? And then, how do I become masterful at using my creative energy to shift what can be shifted, and to bring alive what I want to bring alive, and to make use of the unique landscape that I, and only I, am creating in? That is a part of your magic. Right now, I know we are all dealing with incredibly powerful given circumstances with this pandemic, and that was the inspiration for me sharing this with you. If this is the truth of right now, stop fighting with it. Stop getting into this ongoing, unmoving forward struggle, this chaotic ball. Separate from it. Feel your feelings and look for what else is possible here. I hope that is helpful. I'm so glad we can go deep in these conversations. Have a great week in your studio. And remember, your life is your studio. I'll see you next week.